Okay, we're nearly done, but you know what? We've really not put anything into the floor plan. All we've got is just a floor plan. We've also got another problem. We've got no way of getting into the dungeon. Let's zoom in on this wall over here. As you can see, we've actually got no doors leading into the temple, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for our adventurers to get in. This is where these buttons across here come in really useful. These buttons give us symbol catalogs. Caves, you can see, if you click on that button there, you'll get all the things that you'd like for your caves. Containers and treasures, debris, environmental, furniture, and this one over here, which is going to be very useful. This is for temples. And in our particular case, we want doors and wall fittings. So I'm just going to click on the door symbol here. And as you can see, it brings up a whole bunch of doors and windows and so forth. I think we'll have the door open for our temple. So we're going to click on these large metal doors. One of the great things about Dungeon Designer is that the symbols are all smart, which means that they will, as you can see, line themselves up to this wall. But more importantly, watch this. We've got a wall here. I'm going to click. Once I've got the doors, I want them opening inwards. I'm going to click here. It has actually cut the wall as well as putting the doors in. Absolutely fantastic stuff. What about our little secret room? Let's expand out and zoom in to our little secret room. We obviously don't want to put a door that's obvious to the heroes there, so let's come up here and get the secret door symbol. Again, it snaps just the same way, and I'm going to put it there. So now we know that we've got a secret entrance. Zoom out again. Now it's time to decorate our lovely temple. I'm going to zoom into so I just get the temple. Let's put some statues in here first. When you click on the temples selection here, you can see that there's lots of great things that we can select in, and I'm going to want to make this a big evil idol. I want him to go here, but he's not facing the right way. Well, one of the quick ways that you can realign symbols is to use the arrow keys on your keyboard. Just clicking each arrow key will move him in a different direction. There he is. I also want him to be a bit bigger than this 10-foot wide area here. I want him to be huge. If you right-click on a symbol, you'll call up the symbol parameters box, and you can scale him. I want him 1.5 times as large as normal. Click on more. You can see now he's quite a bit bigger. Excellent stuff. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is add a pulpit. So let's click down here till we find our pulpit. There it is. Whoa, that pulpit is huge. The reason for this is that Campaign Cartographer has remembered the previous symbol's settings. So we're going to set this back to 1. A quicker way of doing it would just be to go set to normal and go more. You can see our pulpit is now the right size. But it's not at the right angle. Again, we could use the arrow keys, or if you push the Control key and the Shift key at the same time, you can actually rotate a symbol around like this. So that's good. I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to have the pulpit right. Actually, I'll just make that a slightly sharper angle. There we go. Right here. Oh, now because we had our grid snaps on, it's actually snapped to the middle of that section there, to a 5 foot, which is not exactly where we want it. So I'm going to undo that. I'm going to turn my snaps off. I'm going to grab my pulpit. It's still at the same angle as last time, and I'm going to put it exactly where I want it. You can see this time it didn't snap over there, and I'm going to turn my grid snaps back on. Okay, now let's make this temple a little bit more realistic. A temple which is what? This is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 foot long would definitely not be able to support its roof under a fantasy setting. Oh, unless we've got magic. But, yeah, of course we have magic. So I'm going to put some pillars in. They're a little bit large. I'm going to use a smaller one, this one over here. We've got our snaps set on, so we can position them just where we want them. They'll be nicely lined up. Bingo. Oh, now, as you can see, I've put a column right in the way of where a pulpit is. Clearly that's not a good design. So for that reason, we're going to use the Move, Scale, and Rotate symbol button. This one here, Move. I'll click on the symbol that we want. It draws a little white box around it. I'll right-click, and I'll say Do It, which means move this little fella. And I'm going to move him to, say, here. I'm going to quickly save our work. Let's redraw, and you can see the pulpit has now been moved into the correct place. And since this is a really nasty, evil place, I think that what we'll do is we'll find a crypt. Oh, let's think. Oh, there's a lovely skeleton slab to put in. Again, using the arrow keys to get the right rotation, we will drop it in our little alcove. Fantastic. We might also want to touch up the place by putting in maybe some elemental bits and pieces here. And I'm thinking a lava pit. I mean, let's face it, what place is any good without a lava pit? I'm going to use the right button to make this only half size, which makes it only 20 foot. And I'll place one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. Having people get over the lava pit is going to be fun. Let's get to that secret door. Good challenge. Right, we're just about done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out a bit so we can get the whole thing into our view. Lovely. And I'm going to turn on our sheets. Again, I'm going to use the 50 pixel sheets. And OK. And voila, we have a beautiful looking dungeon.